Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kye from Beginner's Guide to Japan, and today we'll be covering 10 semi-useful Japanese phrases that you can use in Japan. The first step on your journey to Japan is obviously going to be on a plane. So here's a useful phrase that you can use on planes. Tsuiraku shimasu ka? It's extremely important that you use this phrase to ensure your own safety. Here's a little skit of some real-world use. Tsuiraku shimasu ka?
はい、もちろんです。
The next phrase we'll be looking at is for when you get off the plane and they ask for your visa. Now, it is extremely important that even if you don't have a visa, you use this phrase. Visa 持ってます. So now let's look at some real-world use.
ビザ持ってますか?
Visa 持ってます.
はい、OK です。
After successfully infiltrating the country, I'm sure that you'll want to eat some delicious Japanese foods and of course, document it. So it's important to ask when you enter a restaurant, Camera, OK. Now let's look at some real-world use. Camera, OK?
何それ?
So now that you've successfully scared the locals and the cops have been called, your next step is to assure everyone that you don't have anything dangerous. The phrase for this is 危険物ありません. Now let's look at some real-world use.
日本楽しいですか?
危険物ありません.
本当ですか?
If the cops still think that you're dangerous, you can always follow up with a simple 愛国者です. Now let's look at some real-world use. 愛国者です.
じゃあ問題ありません。
After you've successfully convinced everyone that you love the country, you're probably going to want to go and grab a drink. So here's a phrase for when you enter a bar. 酒を出せ. Now let's look at some real-world use.
いらっしゃいませ。
酒を出せ! After you've had your fun at the bar, you find out they're trying to bill you millions and millions of dollars. Now, at a time like this, there's a useful phrase called 詐欺です. Let's look at some real-world use.
お会計1億2000万3800円になります。
詐欺です! And after you've managed to get yourself shot on your first day in Japan, you're gonna have to tell someone that you've been shot. So the phrase for that is 撃たれました. Let's look at some real-world use. 撃たれました!
一発ぐらい大丈夫。
So after you've spent 2 months recovering from your injuries and being in rehab, you decide to go back to the bar that tried to rip you off. But this time, you're not just a regular person. No, you figured that you're gonna call yourself the boss of the Japanese mafia, the Yakuza. The phrase for this is 組長です. Now let's look at some real-world use.
いらっしゃいませ。
組長です.
俺が組長だ。
Those were the first 10 semi-useful Japanese phrases. Now, to learn how to get yourself out of this mess that you've just gotten yourself into by posing as a fake kumicho, stay tuned for part 2. If you're a foreigner currently living in Japan and have some useful phrases of your own, please leave them down below so others can benefit from your experience. That's going to be all for today's video. If you liked it, please leave a like down below and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so that you'll be notified of all our future content. As usual, we've left links to our personal Instagrams and such down below, and we have created a channel Instagram, so we will be leaving a link to that as well, so please follow us. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
ビザある？今。
国民